What?
Okay, all right, let's get this going. Okay, so you're gonna have to make me because we're gonna use my YouTube live, I think. That's what I told everybody this time.
Yep.
And then yours next time.
Change.
Right?
I
Oh, here
think
you go.
I think I just did it.
Yep, you did it. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I
Okay.
like that white on you.
Thank you. You're okay. Come on. Oh, maybe it's on the thing here.
How's your dogs?
Doing great. Oh, here, choose the brand. No. Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, go live. They're doing great. I put them on this stuff called NutriThrive,
Oh,
which is
yeah?
expensive, but you just use so little of it. And they are so much better. It's so good.
Oh, good.
I mean, they are already were great, but okay, let me see. But, they'll live longer. There's certain reasons why dogs don't live as long.
I raise my personal vibration
got
to
it,
a
got
point
it, got it.
where I can connect up with beings who exist
Is that my computer doing
a
that?
higher dimension,
No,
another
it's me.
vibration, another
I'm
frequency.
like, what did I do?
I gotta stop the stupid thing. Stop. Good. All right, everybody. Sorry, we are a little bit to a late start, but no worries. These little things can't go without a hitch. I mean, they have to. Otherwise, there's something wrong with the universe, right? Definitely. My hair is terrible. Oh my God.
No, it isn't.
No, it's bad. That's okay. I don't care. I mean, it's like, okay, my hair cutter person did not cut enough. And I knew it. I saw the stuff on the floor. I said, that is not enough. I'm going to look like Don King really soon.
Tell him to do it
I
again.
was on, but then at 2 o'clock in the morning, oh, it's really bad. It looks
I
like I
like
came
it.
down with a case of the mange. Oh, God. All right, people. If you want to do top chat, that's fine, but it's best to do what, Pamela? For them to go to, you don't do it for me, okay? But what do you want?
You know what? I don't do it anymore either because
okay.
I feel really guilty if I don't get to people, and oftentimes we don't, and then
okay.
I feel bad, and I'm like,
okay. No top chat. All right. Now I'm going to just take everything randomly, but actually I do have a question. First, I want to say, guys, that we're not going to have the Q&A next Monday because it's Memorial Day, and I'm going to go camping with the grandkids in the hubs.
Oh, give us pictures.
Okay. And then also, I want to know what's under the Denver airport. Supposedly there's some conspiracy theory about what's under there, like 7 or 17 stories underneath. It's to protect the New World Order or the global, I don't know.
Erik said, if I told you, I'd have to kill you.
I know. Well, I mean, is there something going on there? You don't have to say what, but is it?
He whispers, psh, tunnel, psh, tunnel.
Oh, okay. So there's a tunnel there, huh?
Yeah.
Is it for protection of somebody, some people? Or is it where they stockpile stuff or?
He said it's for various reasons, like dealing with drunk people when they get off planes.
Okay.
He said, no kidding. You see them, they walk down the stairs and they're taken, if they act up on the plane, they're taken and they're questioned. But then you look at everything around you and you go, how did this get under here? He said, that's the case with many airports, not just Denver, and they use it for those places for many things.
Okay. All right, good. All right, now I'll let other people have a chance. Kate C, I would love to know what my spirit guides' messages are for me.
Who is that again?
Kate, with a K-A-T-E, and then last initial C.
Do I need a pen today? He's like, no, you don't any day. You just think you do. We can argue about that all the time, Erik. So the practice of choosing love all the time, it doesn't mean that you can give love all the time. You can't give love all the time, but you can be in love all the time, which means that there's a natural notion that you're giving, but most of the time you're receiving and returning and receiving and returning. But if you just think you're giving love all the time, you feel like a doormat. So you're deciding not to respond according to what you think is your mind or your ego. You're just being in love with the facets of others as you can. As you can. Don't beat yourself up when you can't, is what this guide says.
Okay. All right. How about Cody S? Let me expand this. I forgot. I'm old. I have been reading a lot about the Horton and Renaissance magic. I don't know. Never heard about that. That's cool. What are the effects of someone making pacts with demons and other lower dimensional entities? Ugh.
Erik says, well, let's explore your concept of demon and what that really is. You have vibrational patterns, and based upon what you're putting out, you're gonna get, and then your mind plays with you a lot and says, let's create this big, bad, nasty fucker that we're gonna call a demon.
Okay.
And it's a real thing. It's a dimensional thing that you create that feels very real to you, and it's your mind becoming concrete enough to torture you. So if a person thinks of a demon in that way and they make a pact with it, it's like making a pact to torture yourself. But that's just a belief system. Some people make pacts with demons and they think that demons are something completely different and loving, and then that pact becomes different and loving.
Okay. Sounds good. Tisha, Ines, Ines. Hey, beautiful. Any messages from my son, Torrin, Torrin, Stanley?
What a cool name. He said, oh, Mom, it's time to wash your windows. Ew.
Of the house or the car?
He said, well, both, but, she definitely paid more attention to her car than she does her house. He said, and I shouldn't be one to judge it, but I'm just gonna. And he said, of course, I love you, and I've been playing music for you.
Oh, that's so nice.
My music, though, not your music. I didn't say you would like it.
All right, someone wants a message from her loved ones, but didn't leave a name, so we'll just have to go on. Helen Grin. Hi, dear ones. Please help me with advice on releasing my music and, well, basically any important advice.
Erik said, but that is important for you.
Yeah.
He said, let me tell you guys, musicians, writers, poets, you're undermining the importance that you have for your work on this planet. When you tell yourself, that's not going to sell, or that's not going to be pretty writing, or that's not going to be an attractive painting, or that isn't. What if you just said, you know what? I no longer care what it takes. I no longer care if someone's going to like it. I just know that I keep feeling it. Therefore, it must be true. And if I keep feeling it, it's going to make an impact on somebody.
Yeah. So what's the first step she needs to do?
He said, musicians, is the technical challenge. Your first step is making sure you got your mixing right.
Oh, okay. Shelly Ham said, Erik, she says, Erik, thanks for the visit last week. Did you visit her? What gives?
Yeah. He said, yeah. What's her name again?
Shelly Ham with 2 M's.
He said, so I visited a lot of you just because you're on the path where you want to hear from me. And I have to make it kind of outlandish and funny and goofy, because if I don't, you definitely won't think it's me.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to make you laugh. And I think it worked.
Well, that's good. Hey, did you leave all of a sudden there was a tiny little clay heart, like orange and dark yellow, on my kitchen counter. Was that from you? Because nobody claims it. Or did it come
Actually, it wasn't this time.
Oh, really?
But I was thinking about you when that happened.
Cancel that shadow box then. Where did it come from? I've never seen it before.
He said, do you believe, Mom, in manifestations of things that you didn't know that you had show back up in your...
Oh, yeah. I guess
show back
so.
up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can show back up and you don't know you have it, but somebody did.
Well, give me something for real.
He said, but it was for real because you were thinking about me. So
okay. That's true. Okay. Estrella Olivar, I would love to know if my husband Jorge is my forever.
Erik said, you guys know that already. And here's the thing. You know it when it is. And in this case, luckily it is. But I'm going to ask you this. If you have to ask, you're just asking for whatever fun reason because you don't have anything else to ask me. Great. But what about for people who really wonder? What about for people who ask the question seriously? And what I have to say about them is, sadly enough, if you have to ask, it likely isn't. And now I'm going to give you a better point of view. It's easier. Mind you, it's easier, he said. What if you just look at everything as temporary anyway, and you understand that not many things are supposed to be forever?
Okay.
And we love people more fully. We love people more honestly, and it's more real.
Okay. Deborah Di Pietro, my son's name is Cassius. He is the one in the music industry at 16, but he's in the rap world, and I'm very concerned for his safety. Any advice?
Erik said, this is a hard one. It's a contract that some musicians and people that are actually going to be celebrities with their music, because they choose it and they choose to make their mark. This kid wants to make his mark on the world, and he's gonna, and there's a cost to that. And they know it. They know it in the spirit world. In advance, they know it. Now, of course, you as mom has a right to be concerned. And there are many opportunities to change that. It's not like people make a mark on the world and then that means their lives are going to be short because of it. There are opportunities to a point of exit. And then you can change your mind. You can have an opportunity to change your mind. But it's a hard path, and you know that already.
Does she need to let him know that?
Oh, yeah. He's going to find it out. He probably already knows it and just doesn't want to tell you because it would scare you. And both of you you're sitting there like there's a white elephant in the room and nobody's talking about it, but both of you know it's there. Talk about it.
What about he booking a session with you, Pamela, and he and Erik, and every once in a while just touch base and all that?
He said you can do that, or I'd be happy to talk to you about it through anyone or through no one. I can just come to you in a dream. All you have to do is ask. But I just want you to know that musicians have a hard path in that industry and they know it in advance. So why are you guys both not talking about it? That's more of my question.
Okay. All right. Pooja Kumari. Hi, my husband and I have frequent fights and we are not able to stand each other anymore and are living separately. So is there any advice for him and me? That's Pooja Kumari.
What is inside of you is coming out, whether it's coming out in fights, whether it comes out in forgiveness. What is inside of you that's been hurting, that's been full of feeling, one of you feels very attacked, the other one of you feels very defensive, and you both have your reasons and it's coming out. It needs to be, otherwise you're both going to feel burdened and unfulfilled.
Yeah.
So the advice here is to let that keep coming out. And sometimes you just don't need to talk to each other about it. Talk to other people, but just take a break from each other.
Okay.
There's other advice to you is you don't always need to know what's going to happen.
Okay. Could their spiritual contract be just over?
Yeah, it could be, but one of them isn't letting it be over. And in the case of one person not letting it be over, when one knows, she knows, and he doesn't let it be over. In that case, like, how much of your power you're giving to him by pretending to be like scared of the situation and scared of the future?
Yeah.
What can be worse? It was harder living with him.
Okay. Let's see. So Scorpio, well, this is, I don't have to give the name. How long is Corona going to be a problem?
Erik said, again, I've told you this the first time that I came through Pamela, that it'll start in its phase 1. Some of you in some states are ahead of the game and already in phase 2 in the United States, but most of the world is in phase 1 of their health and economy recovering. Well, alleged health, you guys all know that shit's fake. He said, so let's just talk about it this way. That's stage 1. And then it's going to go fully all through its stages. I'd say by August, you'll be in stage 2. I say by between September and the end of October, you'll be in stage 3. And then you'll have another run of it. There'll be another run of it that they create for you to experience. And then that will go on, between then and February or so. So these timeframes are still exactly as they were when I first told you. It's 2 runs of it.
Okay. By the way, scalar energy, the one that was discovered by Tesla, is supposed to be like informational energy, not really the same as the electromagnetic spectrum energy. And it's, 0-point energy is another name for it. Is that really going to be our future? Will it be able to power everything?
Guys, there's so many, nobody believes this, but it's like a Russian doll, and he's showing me this Russian doll, and then the inside of that is a doll, and you open that up and the inside of that is a doll.
Nesting dolls, yeah.
So there's levels of experiencing. And depending upon how deeply you are inside of yourself, you may see something that's really positive on a big scale, and you may not. And ultimately speaking, even that technology has been just really shifted it's been in so many hands of those with negative intentions.
Oh.
That even that you can't count on to be exactly what it is.
Right.
Because it's still it's changed and shifted to benefit the 1%ers.
Oh, what about Spooky 2 Scalar, that company? I think they sell those machines to create the scalar energy field.
Helpful on an individual level with that, but still not fully for everything that it says it is. Like that needs a lot of work. It's like scaled down, that one, scaled down a lot.
Right. I mean, Tesla made a car that never ran out of energy, powered by scalar energy, that got up to 90 miles an hour. And he also built a tower that generated the scalar energy field, and it powered all of Colorado Springs. So but I'm sure there's resistance from oil and gas. Since it does have healing properties,
He said, here's a good thing, Mom.
Big Pharma might not like it either.
They're running out of the resources that they use. So in one sense, we're going to have no choice but to go over those kind of technologies. But in another sense, you still have a lot of deep state resistance, and that's fading away, but it does take time.
Yeah, well, it'd be awesome. Can it heal cancer? I mean,
not that particular technologies that you're talking about, but it can, he said it can change your body.
One. The real.
Oh, the real one. He said the bigger scale one, it can make your body get to a state where cancer just would not even exist. Okay. But once it's there, it's not going to heal it. So.
Okay. What about Tom Palladino? He has a lot of programs using scalar energy to remotely help people.
He said, I hope that being does not get shut down. Like his intentions does not get shut down, because it's not going a good route for him, because it is actually really good technology, and it's like the government's got their thumb on it.
No, but it's not him that's, it's.
Oh, no, it's not him. They want his technology to stop.
Why is one person saying boring shit? That's not nice. Also, Tisha, I see you keep leaving the same message, question. Y'all don't repeat your questions. It just bogs everything up so much, really. But I still love you. Okay. All right. Penny.
Erik says, motherfuckers, we're not here to entertain you.
Get out of it what you want. Okay. Oh, wait. Jay-Z, she wants to know about the husband's job status. Should he wait or look for a different job? His name is Alberto.
Both. Erik says, sometimes you don't have a choice. Waiting on what? It hasn't changed this amount of time. What makes you think it's going to change now?
Yeah.
You know you need to be looking, but you can't just leave either. So the answer is both. You're not really waiting. You're just like looking for something while also staying. You know that's not going to change. He knows that's not going to change. You know you need a new job.
Okay. Pam Codner, hi from the UK. Codner with a C. I would like to know, am I on the right path career-wise?
Erik said, you're exactly where you should be right now. And sometimes it's really challenging. You feel very catalyzed, like he said, like all the time, man. And other times at the end of the day, you're like, well, that was rewarding. I feel challenged. And by golly, it's like, you know, walking through, he's showing me an image of the minefields where you like tiptoeing over like the bombs in the ground. What do you call that? The minefields.
Yeah. The IEDs or IUDs, I almost said. You don't want to step on those that are buried in the ground. They might be attached to something.
He said, but that doesn't mean you're not supposed to be there. You're on the right track. It's just hard and it's challenging you for a reason. But the people, I'm going to tell you this applies to her and this applies to everybody. Sometimes when you're in a really hard job, but you know that it's supporting you to go where you need to go and you know it's the right place. What if you could apply that to everything? Everything's in the right place to either get you to shift away from something that isn't working or to challenge you until you're ready. But almost every job on this earth isn't permanent. Almost every single one will push you to a better level of yourself. So what if we looked at it in that way?
Yeah, that's true.
There's no end zone with jobs. He said, we change them like underwear.
Oh my God. When they start getting racing stripes, you just better change it. That's all I can say. Metaphorically speaking. Okay, Penny Grumbine. Should I trust the person that is asking me to marry him? Oh man, if you're wondering about that, I don't know. We don't have the person's
that's
name.
what Erik said
Penny
too.
Grumbine is a very specific name, so.
Yeah, Erik said, but why are you asking the question?
Yeah.
That's one of those instances where he talked about a while ago.
Well, is it her intuition or is it her fear?
Both. He said sometimes fear works with intuition to tell you when you need to make a big shift. Fear is telling you that something isn't right.
Is it something that can be rectified?
Not while you're married.
Oh, okay.
How come you can't just what he said, okay, so I know you're going to tell me how come you can. And I know it has to do with families and things, but aside from that, can't you both just say no and get to know each other in a normal way? Why does a marriage have to be right now? Don't tell me all the logical reasons why. I know the logical reasons why. I'm telling you, don't marry right now.
Okay. Great. And, you know, okay, Yolanda Guerra. Any messages for my son, Ernesto? What should he do with his drug addiction?
He said, so this is messages for more for mom and moms in this situation. Sometimes they know what they need to do and you know what they need to do. And there's nothing that they're going to do just yet. So this isn't a matter of what he needs to do. You know what he should do.
Yeah.
So this isn't a matter of asking the question. It's a matter of how much enabling are you going to allow to happen? Even as mom, that's a hard thing.
Oh God, yeah.
Before you just say, these are the natural consequences of the situation.
Yeah. Well, I had a family member that had some trouble with heroin, and I put him on low-dose naltrexone. And 3 days later, he said, I feel normal for the first time in my life because it triples the release of your endorphin into the bloodstream. And some people who are addicted to opioids, well, everyone who's addicted to opioids just have, you know, an endorphin deficiency. Sometimes it could be a genetic deficiency, but sometimes it can be acquired from trauma and other things. So it could be autoimmune, like autoantibodies against endorphin receptors. So look into low-dose naltrexone for him. Now, what about Tom Palladino's scalar energy program that he remotely sends scalar energy for drug addiction, alcohol, chemical detox, and all that?
That works, but it depends upon if the person's actually, they have to do it a lot. So
oh no, it's like a whole month long, but you don't have to do anything. You just.
He's like, that's the problem with addicts, that they're not going to commit to the recovery that long because
They don't have to do anything though. They just sit there and it's remotely given, you know, and then they're told the next day, well, you were given this from this time to that time. But anyway, I don't know. It's worth a try. Look at Scalar Light, SCALAR light.com. See,
it works, but there has to be more on the patient's end than on the than what the person is saying.
Okay.
There really has to be more commitment on their end.
All righty. Now, Stormy Chavez is still having trouble with her renter neighbors. Whoa. You need a taller fence. I don't know.
Okay, Erik said, and there's a portion of this, of you getting in their business a little bit more than you should, that's causing you to suffer. So, yeah, there's certain things that we go through, but okay, they're renting. What about the next one? What about the next one? What about the next one? At some point, there's other factors involved in this situation that maybe you can get the city involved or the county involved. You have to go above who is perceived as the landlord and the tenant in the situation.
Yeah.
So at some point you have to think outside of what the landlord can control and what you can control.
Why don't you buy the house from them and rent it out, but choose your renters?
Yeah.
So you can make rental income to pay the mortgage.
He said most people think that they've chosen good renters, and renters are just situations.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
My mother and father had property, a little thing in Jacinto-port that they rented out. And one day went over there and they had slaughtered a giant hog in the middle of the living room. It's gross. Anyway.
Wow. Now that's a story.
Today.
Wow.
Okay. Chris, hi. I would like to know if I will get pregnant anytime soon. CHRIS.
Erik said, don't look at it as a situation of trying. I'm not telling you to give up either, but I'm telling you that when you kind of give it to the universe and you just say, you know what, however this is supposed to happen, I'm going to let that happen. And, you know, whatever happens, I'm going to just let this happen however it's supposed to. And then it works. But sometimes trying creates resistance.
Sure. Because you'll always be, the universe, you know, is going to interpret that as you are always in the state of trying. If you're having trouble, email me and I'll give you the my infertility advice document. You know, of course, check with your doctor, but I know more than they do. I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah, emedhus@gmail.com. Okay, Jenny wants to know if her spirit guides have any messages for her.
Okay. So, like we always say, time isn't real, but it feels real. So if it's not real, but it feels real, what are you going to do to honor that? If it's kind of something you create for yourself and you are using it to manifest something and to create and explore, why not use it constructively? You're just kind of sitting around wondering about manifestation, which is a great step, but you know what they say, it takes some action on your part.
Okay. Gina McAnally, gaming and watching at the same time in Texas. Yay. Multitasker. All right. There are some people I see that are asking 2 different questions. So remember, it's only 1 per customer. Y'all need to read the instructions. Maybe maybe I put too much and it's just too, ugh. I'll look at it. Anyway, Brigitte Alstrom, hello from Colorado. Does Erik have any messages for me?
What do you think dependency is? When you think that something about your life is dependent upon something else, how does that make you feel free to live in your power right freaking now? It doesn't. And when you think about creating for yourself, what can you do in this moment to get out of that thought pattern that you're dependent upon something to get something else? It's this whole pattern of enabling yourself to feel stuck. You're not stuck. You're just not moving. So sometimes I'll say you're not stuck, you're bored. Sometimes I'll say you're not stuck, you're scared. But face what you're actually feeling, and then the things that you want to create, those ideas will come to you. But you're a little bit squirrely. You're a little bit like, oh yeah, that's the idea. And then you're like, yeah. And then you forget about it. Don't do anything about it. The next day you wonder where it went. Forget that it was even there. And you're on to something else. Just choose one thing. It doesn't have to be the right thing. Anything that makes you feel creative right now would be helpful to stop feeling bored and scared and stuck.
Okay. But also just like sit with all those feelings so you can get past them, right? I mean, confront them.
He said that, see, there's a trick to that though. Sometimes you can do that a little bit too much. Sometimes like,
oh yeah,
I gotta honor my shadows, I gotta sit with my demons, and then that shit takes over.
That. All right, Jurgita, or it could be, it's Jurgita. Jurgita, I don't know. And last initial G, and I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that, sorry. Anyway, she needs some advice, Erik. She's very lost lately.
So, when I tell you to surrender, it's not a powerless thing. So what does that mean when I say surrender? Is this thing, it's not this thing where you just say, you know what, fuck it, nothing's working. That's not it. It's not like somebody just came up to you. I mean, we're not in the 15th century where you got knights with horses getting ready. You're not on the battlefield with your swords at each other and the white flag up. Nobody's got your neck in the guillotine, you know? So surrender means settle into the position of feeling like you are a servant to this universe, not this earth, not the powers that be in this land. You know, Lord knows that's bad. But what if you are here to serve what's inside of you or outside of you? I don't care. People these days argue about what's inside and what's outside and what doesn't exist at all. Non-existentialists. So the conduit through which you are, through which your spirit's coming through, you're like, he showed me like a pipe underneath the house and water's going through like PVC pipe. He said, so you're that. And there's stuff that wants to come through. And when you settle into yourself, settle into your body, settle into your situation as is, and serve that feeling that's coming through you, that is surrender. That's what you need to do. You're fighting everything. You think everything's a fight, but that's not going to get you anywhere but fighting more.
That's true. All right, Frizzell Wiggins, why have you not channeled Anubis or Thoth? Well, I mean, I'm actually getting all sorts of questions, calling for questions on the Anunnaki, like Enki and Enlil, and I'm wondering maybe Anubis is Enki and Thoth is Enlil. I don't know. So yeah, we got that.
One of those peoples.
If you get it. Okay. Jaylia or Helia. Jaylia. I'm a school teacher and having a hard time keeping my heart into teaching, even before the COVID-19. Is this what I really am meant to do?
He said, kind of, but not in that system. Even schools are changing. And what if you're here to change that to where that system is not so, even like this. So you're part of that change. And if you leave while it's changing, you won't see the change. Yet simultaneously, you're tired of feeling like you're trapped in it as well. So maybe you are the person who can be that light in that darkness, shine the flashlight on all that.
Awesome. Okay, the person's name is ZSU, Zuza, I think, Elik, E-L-E-K. She wants to know if there's any messages from her mom, Ersebet Elik, passed in 2008. Oh, lots of little broken heart emojis.
Get this image of her dancing around. For some reason, I hear bells, like tiny little bells, not big ones. Jangling bells. She said, always wanted to when I was a little girl, I wanted to be a belly dancer. And I wanted these little bells. And she shows me like the belly dancer get up with the, all around the
yeah, right.
bells. And she's like, no, look, I can move like this. And I just wanted to always be able to do that without feeling judged. She said, so I'm going to tell you something. Once you begin a journey of spirit, there's no end. Now, once you begin a journey of body, the end's always certain. But to be at peace with it is the perfect goal. And I am at peace with the body.
Oh, that's so nice. Suzanne Lucero O'Brien, what is the best antidepressant that will not affect my third eye?
The best what?
You too, Suzanne. The best antidepressant that won't affect my third eye. Suzanne Lucero O'Brien.
Ooh. Erik said, ooh, good luck with that. No. He said, I can't really, he said, Pamela gets really
medical. Yeah, no, we can't.
But he just went, ooh. There's other things other than that, he says, that will not.
Okay. Well, what natural thing can help?
He said, you'd think, like mom always says, LDN.
Yeah.
Doesn't work with everybody, but definitely with most people. So you can start there.
Yeah.
If you absolutely feel like you have to, at least get on an energizing one, but it's still going to affect your third eye no matter what you do. But I guess the least one that will affect it would be Wellbutrin.
Okay. Kathy Narcette, can Erik tell me, but check with your doctor. That's my neighbor, near neighbor. Kathy Narcette, can Erik tell me what he sees coming to me? Kathy Narcette.
Can Erik tell me what he sees coming to me? Yeah. He said, so you're kind of in this thing with the future where everything that you've been through is coming back around. He was like, it's like The Price is Right, where you spin that wheel and it comes back around. And then there's like, the universe is like, hey, Kathy, come on down. The price is right. So, what? He says it's your time to be in a space of celebration where you feel like, yeah, I'm finally winning something, man. So you've put a lot of effort into this life and you're finally being able to feel good. You've worked a lot on retraining your thoughts, and that's because of that. That's why you're kind of at the end of the line where everything that you put out there is finally coming back around. How does she get it, people? She retrained her mind. She trained her thoughts. She's just really diligent. She just disciplines how she thinks.
Yes, and, she is.
Yeah. Absolutely. He said, that's what it is, people. You're so preachy today.
Oh, it's always something with him. Peggy Chambers needs to hear from her husband, her late husband, Mike Gately.
Mike?
Her name is Peggy Chambers. I do not know if I'm on the right track for my life. I feel like I've made a huge mistake.
He comes and I get this image of him standing behind you and he's got his arms around you like this. And he's going like this. And he said, you have a really vulnerable, trusting heart, and you have recently trusted someone in something. And I know it hurts to find out that you couldn't. I need you to let that go, and I need you to let that go fast. It's okay. You're always going to be a trusting person. Now you're just learning to be more discerning. And everything that you think you've lost will be recovered, and it'll be unexpected, and it will be fine.
Wow. Can she use a pendulum for yes and no's? Should I trust this or not? I mean,
he said no, because for people who use a pendulum, Erik is the one talking now. He interrupted him. And he said, well, people who use a pendulum when they're grieving, especially when they feel ashamed of a decision, shame is a very powerful frequency. Just as powerful as love, just kind of in the wrong direction. So she feels ashamed of a decision and of a choice. And when that happens, like your frequencies just go whoosh, and the pendulum just goes in any direction it can. And then it'll give you what, like, he's like, test this, guys. When you're angry or feeling ashamed, those two frequencies, when you use a pendulum, you'll get mixed answers. You'll do it, and then 5 minutes later, the pendulum will swing the other way and telling you your no. And then 5 minutes later, it'll tell you a yes. And then it'll stop swinging at all. He's like, when that happens, just put it down.
Well, maybe saging it or doing the Tibetan bells. But you know what I've done is I write things on a Post-it note and different. I have like controls also, like, is my hair purple, whatever, and crumple them up, mix them up, and then yes or no to this crumple, you know, and go down the line. So that at least makes it a little bit more possible, right?
He's like, but Mom, you have a unique technique and understanding though that works for you.
Okay.
So it works for you and anybody like you, but then other people don't have as much control over, like they don't have controls in that way.
Okay. Rebecca Bart, is the vaccine, the ultimate corona vaccine, going to be safe?
Erik goes.
Great. I mean, are they going to microchip us, or is it going to have virus in it and stuff? Like some conspiracy theorist. I'm becoming one, actually. Think?
He said, so do you remember when I told you, you asked me, would this be a pandemic? And I said, it shouldn't be. Notice the word shouldn't. Shouldn't be. So I'll tell you this, the same thing. Shouldn't be that, but do I know for sure it's not going to be that? No. So I can't tell you. Yeah, it's not, for some people, it lands in that direction. This is hard for people to wrap their minds around. He said, so a lot of those things already have that kind of stuff in it. It just didn't work. Oh. So then they come up with a new vaccine to try it again.
Ugh. All right, well, what we'll do is when we do have an ultimate vaccine, we'll ask that question again, maybe. All right,
yeah.
Laser Bites. Will my son Lance with autism be okay after I pass? Actually, people make pharmacists can compound LDN as a cream to put it on autistic kids. I don't know how old Lance is.
He's like, and it's going to get better. They're going to come up with even more technologies by the time you pass.
Yeah.
That will be even easier. So I know that you think there's something about him that's always going to be the way it is right now forever. It's actually not going to be. This situation, this question isn't going to be applicable.
Okay, good. Well, that's good. Chris B, can I ask a question? Well, yeah, you can. What is it? Okay. Treasure Hustler, yeah, come on, go with me camping. That'd be awesome. Everybody who says I love you to us, thank you so much. You know, we love you too. Okay, Janelle Kane. Any messages from Vic Lefebvre for his wife, Susan, and or his children and grandchildren?
Okay, messages, I'm getting the for and the from. I don't know which one has passed over.
Oh, okay. Vic Lefebvre. And his, you know, his wife is Susan.
But right, but which one died?
Kane. Pardon me?
Which one died?
Vic Lefebvre.
Sorry, your internet's being a little weird.
Oh. Well, I'm on Ethernet. Oh no, I didn't change it to Ethernet. Okay, well, damn it. Vic Lefebvre.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry. People get real mad when I don't always connect to every spirit, but sometimes they just don't come in. That could mean they're resting or it's not time yet.
All right, well, just ask next time.
Yeah, try me on a different day.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay. Oh, Helene Ramoy. Any messages from Erik?
Mm-hmm. So when you tell yourself, I need something, you use the word need. I want you to redefine what that means, because need is like food, water, love, personal hygiene, mental well-being, your health. Do you have all that? Actually, she got everything but one of those things, probably health. So I want you to re-question that word need right now so that you can focus on gratitude. He said, I swear I'm not trying to be a little snot. Gratitude is a real thing that really, really helps you And it's a very interesting place because a lot of people use gratitude, especially in the communities of people who watch us and Pamela. They use gratitude to get something. It's like a kid going in a candy store being like, if I'm grateful for this little lollipop that I had last week, I'll get the whole store, which, by the way, is tainted gratitude. So what if we can walk out of the store? We don't need everything in that store, and pay attention to, you know, what we actually have, you know, the roof over our heads, the meals that we eat daily, the things like that, because otherwise gratitude is used in a weird way that can backfire on you and make you feel greedy.
Okay. Okay, Nikki says, my friend Jill is very sick. Is there a message from Boots, also known as Booty, that could make her feel better or to pass to the other side? Mm.
All right, sharing as delivered. The person comes and, oh God, pulls down his pants and moons you and shakes their booty and sings the song "Shake Your Booty."
Aww.
Also says, "I will be there, booty and all." It's a play on another term, but aside from that, I just want you to know I'm here, and I want you to know I'm guiding you, and baby got back.
Okay. All right. Marcy, please tell my dad, Joe, I miss him so much and so sorry I was not a good daughter and was not there for him. Can you make her feel better? Yeah.
Joe said, what? Somebody couldn't have, you couldn't have, like you literally couldn't have. They wouldn't let you. What are you talking about? I couldn't even possibly, I wasn't even really myself during those times when you wanted to. And then somebody wouldn't let you. So everything that you think about that you would have given to me, somebody else is going to need it here soon. That's going to need you to be there for them. Mm. So everything that you thought about supporting me with, and give that to them, support them in that way. And you have my support in that.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Frankie, I'm wondering where I should be directing my future. I'm just terrified of people and I don't want to waste time in a place that doesn't serve my highest needs. Well, first of all, how can she not be terrified? What can help her not be terrified? Her or, no, her. Be terrified of people. Well, how can we address that? I think that's the first thing, the main thing.
It's gonna take a lot because Erik said her belief is primarily that it is an unsafe world and that everybody is unsafe and can't be trusted. And her head has evidenced that so many times that she needs to stop thinking about the past and go into therapies and healing modalities that help her forgive, so that forgiveness, it is an actual practice. It's not just something fluffy that we say. Learn the whole
What's it coming from? What's her terror coming from? Is it from another life or this life or both?
Both. She's had everything in all other lifetimes evidence in this lifetime.
Oh, maybe she should get past life regression or hypnotic regression.
Sometimes it helps, but she also needs to face what's going on now and forgive the now and start to sit still in a safe now. Learning how to be safe right now, not to think about the past as evidence.
Or in breathing exercises, would that help?
Pranayama, yeah, breathing exercises. I'd say probably brainwave therapies and.
Ooh, what about Soul Happy? Because that has EMDR and all that stuff.
Yeah, Soul Happy.
Soulhappy.com. Check it out.
Technique. There's plenty of things that kind of those things. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go to soulhappy.com. It is amazing. That's great. All right. Okay. And if you get rid of that, then your future will probably, the direction you should take for the future will become more evident. But if I were in I would do past life regression, maybe even including between lives, so you can figure out what you plan for this time. And also, and Robert Schwartz does that, where he takes you between lives, but he also takes you to the most significant past life that's affecting your life now. And then I would do soul happy.
Yeah, that's
and breathing and all that stuff.
Anybody in regression, your regressionist should ask, what is the most relevant record? So when you go into the Akash, you know, if that person needs to ask that question, it's really important.
Okay. Rico Thompson, any message from my sister Keisha, who passed from leukemia before I was born?
I've been watching you. And I came back.
Oh, okay.
And I watch you still. And I came back almost immediately.
Wow. Is she in his current family?
Mm-mm. I came back clear across the world in a similar body, just a different culture. I didn't want the culture, but everything that I learned by watching you be in that hard culture and those hard beliefs helped me, because I just wanted a different culture and belief system.
Will their paths ever cross?
What?
Will their paths ever cross?
If she goes to India.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. She said, you'll find me at some point if you go to India.
Okay. Okay. Tisha Inez says she didn't get the message about windows, cleaning the windows from her son. I think it was Torin. I'm assuming it's a metaphor because my son wouldn't GAF. Oh, about the windows. That's what he said, though. He said that yeah, you would think that was funny because he didn't care about clean windows. Is it a metaphor?
It's a metaphor. Yeah, it is a metaphor, but it's not. Like, there is some window that if she focuses around that energy of the house, that she'll literally feel him, but also it's a metaphor for something else, kind of a dual meaning.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, so one person, I'm a recovering addict and I swear by Kratom, Kratom. Does that work?
Erik says it does, but for some people, it holds some interesting side effects that you then have to recover from.
Does it work for like alcoholics?
Yeah, specifically for alcoholics, and even for, he said, coffee. It's even a really bad addiction for some people, and it helps you get off coffee, but it has other side effects that are long-standing.
Like what?
It can affect the neurological system, and it can cause other things in the urological system, can collapse the bladder walls.
Oh my God, so it sounds awful. Why would anybody take it?
Because they're desperate.
That gets this, or can you prevent those in some way?
It has to be so specifically dosed, and most people are so desperate that they want to take a lot of it because they want this the addiction side effects to go away right now, so they take too much of it. This has to be dosed out. It has to be taken in small amounts if it's going to work without side effect.
Okay, let's see. My name is Joanne. Any messages from Billy Moore? He crossed over on 6/6/18 in a motorcycle accident.
I smell pollen. And I hear classic music. He said, so it's not just I didn't look in the right direction situation. And I want you to know that other people around me physically at that time were also not at fault. Like, really, like to the left of him, he said. So that's a specific message. That's not a metaphor. And I want them to know that they weren't and that I wasn't either. And, you know, simple things right now. You need to simplify your life, and you have. And it was kind of a message that I always had. Keep it simple, keep it simple, keep it simple. So right now I encourage you to do the same. You're thinking about a lot of things that are just making you miserable. And I'm not even talking about me. Like, when you think about me, you feel happy. You got through that, but now you're thinking about things that are making you miserable again.
Okay. All right. So Ian RS, you can't go from heroin to naltrexone. Fuck that. No. Okay. So
Erik said, oh, really?
yeah, you can't. What you do is you go to an LDN doctor, telemedicine or whatever, and you get on, and they put you on, I mean, it can precipitate withdrawal, so you can't be on regular low dose. You have to be on ultra low dose naltrexone that will help you get off of it. And then you slowly increase to low dose. Ultra low dose is like super low, but the regular low dose is 4.5 milligrams. And I'm not talking about regular naltrexone, which is 50 to 100 milligrams. So yeah, you can.
You can.
You have to follow the advice of the LDN doctor.
Yep.
So, okay. Booze Love. Erik, do I give up? Well, we don't have the first name, so I don't know if you can.
He said, on what? On expecting anything from other people? Yes, that will make you freaking miserable. But just because other people aren't who you want them to be, and society is what it is right now, you don't give up on life, man. You just give up on certain people and your expectations that you have surrounding them.
Okay. Let's take one more. Valerie David. Hi, so happy to be here with you all. My name is Valerie David, and I'm wanting to know if Erik has a message for me today.
Rise up. Get up. He said, you're just kind of sitting around thinking you got so many creative ideas that happen to you in the morning before you even get out of bed. So what if every morning when you get up, you just say, okay, how can I be more present for myself today and get shit done? It's not one or the other. That's your puppy.
Hi, baby. Okay, Sandra. Okay, just a minute. I know it, little girl or big girl. All right, so that's it for today. You guys check out Pamela Erlin at PamelaErlin.com, and be sure that I get the recording too, because I didn't record it. Anyway, y'all, we're not going to have the Q&A next Monday because it's Memorial Day. And thank you, Erik. I love you.
I love you too, Mom.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.